welcome to my Flagstaff home. Today, if you've been watching my videos, you're going to notice that I'm wearing the same shirt in several of these because I've been actually filming clips from different videos over the past several weeks, but didn't do my intro kind of things, so I'm doing them all today. So here you go. So today's video is about planting flowers in large flower pots. And I have actually have more than that, but I have 4 large pots in the backyard that I use for flowers, and I like to be able to have kind of a dramatic display of flowers in those pots. And so several years ago, I heard about a concept called thrillers, spillers, and fillers, and that has simplified the whole process of planting flowers in those big buckets for me, because I have, or not buckets, but pots. I will go to a nursery and I just walk around and I don't know what to get. But now that I have this idea in my head about thrillers, spillers, and fillers, it gives me some direction in what to look for those pots. So let me tell you about that. What it means is that in your large pot, you want to have a thriller. And so that's a tall, maybe a couple feet high, flowering plant that just is, it just attracts attention. And I've got a couple of different ones I'm going to show you today. Gerbera daisies are good for that. There's, I think there's another one called Cosmos that kind of grow tall and flower and everything. And so you want one that is the attention getter, the thriller. And then the next thing you need for interest is a spiller. So you want one that spills over the edge of the pot. Bacopa is one that I've used several times. I'm doing that one in this video here. There's a new one I'm trying this year as well. But you just need, and you can ask, at a nursery and just say which kind of plants spill over. A lot of times they're used in hanging baskets because they spill down. And so you want something like that to add interest over the edge of your pot. And then you have your fillers. Those are little plants that will spread. And you want to make sure that, that there's something that's not going to grow too high and cover up your thriller. But what was it? What happened? Oh, this wasn't with my fillers that was bad last year, but I bought this thing that was a petunia, and I thought it was a cascading petunia, and it turned out not to be. And it completely covered all the fillers that I had in there. It did spill over the edge, but it kind of took over the whole pot. Anyway, so sometimes, you find out that certain things don't work. This year I'm using alyssum and those little tiny flowers, and they do spread out really nicely. And so eventually when these things grow up, you're gonna have this beautiful thriller. You're not gonna be able to see any soil because the fillers have covered all of that. And then you're gonna have this trailing plant out of the pot that is your spiller. So I'm going to pop in a picture right now so you can see one of my pots from last year. The reason I'm doing that is that when you first plant them, they sort of look spindly and, they don't look very dramatic at first. It takes time for them to adjust to being in this new pot and to start growing. So I'll give you an update on how these current pots look later in the summer. But this picture I'm going to pop in, I actually wasn't taking the picture last summer to show the whole pot. I was taking it because I had made this wine bottle oil lamp, and you'll see that in the pot, this wine bottle that's in there. And so I didn't get the flowering part of the thriller, but you can still get the general effect of this. So let me go ahead and pop that picture in for you. Okay, so now let me go ahead and take you out into my backyard. It was a really cloudy day. It had rained the day before. We just don't get weather like that this time of year, but it was just kind of interesting. So it's not as bright and sunny as it would otherwise have been, but I'll take you out there to show you the plants and then show you the final results. And then also, at one point I was thinking I was going to do a separate video on my flower boxes, but I changed my mind and I put my flower boxes that are on my front porch, I did those too. With those, I only did thrillers and fillers. Anyway, here we go. So this year for my thrillers, well, I'll show you the thrillers, spillers, and fillers for 2 of my pots. So this right here is called a Euryops, I think. I'll link everything over on my blog.com, but this is kind of a daisy looking plant. I've used these before in the past. They work really nicely. This right here is a Verbena lanai candy cane, and it is a spiller, so it will spill over the edge of the pot. And then I got alyssum for my fillers. Those are really nice. They stay really short and they spread out a lot. And then over here for my other 2 pots, what I got was something called a Cathedral Deep Blue, or let's see what that, Salvia farinacea. So those are pretty. I haven't tried these before. And then this is a spiller called Bacopa, and in this same pot I'm going to use the alyssum for filler. But I'm going to go ahead and mix some of the old dirt from last year with some new soil, along with a little bit of deodorized manure, and then I'm going to plant these, and then I will come back and show you the final result. All right, so here is one of the pots with those yellow daisy-like flowers and the verbena that will spill over the edge, and the alyssum as fillers. And of course it looks a little puny right now, but when everything starts to grow, those spillers are gonna spread out and go longer, and the alyssum will cover up so you won't even be able to see any of the dirt. So that is one of them. And then this is the other kind that I did. I did 2 of each, 2 pots with the same configuration in them. So that's, I can't remember what I said that purple flower was. But then there's the Bacopa that's gonna be a filler, and then the alyssum. I actually did use all of that alyssum in these pots, and so I put 3 in each of the 4 pots, and that used all of them up. So these will get really pretty later in the summer, and I'll do another video later on in the summer when you can see that they're all filled in. So I thought I'd go ahead and show you my flower boxes that I did. In these I just put Gerbera daisies and some petunias. So I have purple and white, and then the Gerbera, this one's a darker pink. And then over here I have another one, same kind of configuration. I have a lighter pink Gerbera daisy right there, and then some white and purple petunias. Of course these will really fill in, the petunias will really fill in and hopefully spill over the edge, so that should look really nice later in the summer. I hope that has given you some good ideas for planting your flowers in large pots this year. Even if, say you don't have large pots but you have a huge planter. I was just talking to a friend of mine who said she's got this huge long planter and was just kind of at a loss for how to plant in that. And you know, in that case you could sort of break it off into sections. So you could have a thriller, filler, spiller in one section, do the same thing, thriller, filler, spiller in another section, and so you could just sort of break it up into focal points that way. But I hope this has given you some really good ideas. I will have a coordinating blog post to go with this that I will link. It will be on myflagstaffhome.com, and so you can check that out. Anyway, you guys, I hope you're doing well. If you're not subscribed to my channel, just hit that button right there. YouTube will let you know when I upload new videos to this channel. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.